Welcome to the Nuclear Snail channel. In this episode I'm gonna talk about why I literally never work with fake leather for my post-apocalyptic costumes. Because this question just keeps popping up again and again, and I think that is because some people just already own something made from fake leather and it's starting to dilapidate and they're like, can I turn it completely post-apocalyptic? What do I do now? Or they just are looking for like a leather jacket and find very cheap offers for either new or second-hand fake leather products. And here is what I have learned yesterday on the internet by just reading a couple of articles about different types of fake leather. I'm not an expert on this whatsoever. If you care about fake leather, then just go read up on it yourself. So like no guarantee for any completeness or correctness of all information about this stuff except my own personal experiences. But from what I've read, there are different types, and to me this kind of fake leather seems to be the PVC, so polyvinyl chloride type of leather, which is rather cheap to produce, which is why you get it for cheap. And the problem with it seems to be that after a couple of months to a couple of years, depending on how you use it and what it's exposed to and blah blah blah, it starts to dilapidate on its own. I did not distress this piece, it's just falling apart naturally. It's actually been in my girlfriend's wardrobe for a while. It's a leg of old fake leather pants, and it just started falling apart after a while. And she wanted to throw them away, and I was like, hey, give me that, I need to show that in my video, because otherwise I just don't own that material. I wouldn't take that material off your hands if you paid me money to take it off your hands. To me personally, it's literally trash. Now, there are some very limited situations in which you could possibly use it if you really insisted on doing so, but I recommend just staying away from it altogether. Now, there is also a different type of leather which is called 100% polyurethane leather, and that is supposedly holding up better and also accepts staining better and so on and so forth. I believe I might have some medieval LARP boots made out of this, and so far they're holding up quite alright, but it's too early to judge because how often do I really put them on, so who knows. But polyurethane, 100% polyurethane leather is supposedly more durable, at least from what I've read, although some websites said it is more durable than the PVC variety, others said it's less durable, and then there were also like a bunch of weird types, like there are also some that are called polyurethane leather, but it's not 100%, it's rather polyurethane resin mixed up with ground up scraps of real leather, which is then bonded to a fabric layer like here. So here it is this vinyl chloride stuff or whatever, bonded on top of a fabric layer. Or maybe it's the polyurethane ground up scraps, I don't know. I don't care about that material. I just, like, the reason I'm making this video is so that people stop asking this question. Because my recommendation for it is ultimately just stay away from it as much as possible. So the 100% polyurethane stuff might be an option for you if you're a vegan and want to avoid any animal products for sure, but then you really need to read up whether or not that specific thing you're buying is that, or if it's another kind which still incorporates animal products. Also this PVC stuff, it's supposedly bad for the environment both when it's manufactured and when it's flaking off and decomposing, like now, from me just rubbing with my finger on it, by the way. So that is also an issue. Not only are you flaking all over the place, and my floor is just covered entirely in this stuff right now, just from me holding it and shaking it a bit. Ugh. So we'll have to vacuum clean. So you're just flaking all over the place, not in a cool way, and that is also not healthy for you or anyone else or the environment. So that's just plus 1 point on the list of things why I don't like this material. So what are the limited uses of this? If you are doing something that's a throwaway thing, I would go with this. Also, obviously, if you have a completely new piece of this, it will not immediately start dilapidating like this, but rather quickly. And also I've had experiences where I would want to put a couple of scratches into it, like some mechanical distressing, and I would just tear it. So if you apply mechanical distressing to it, be very gentle, very, very gentle. I don't know if it was this type with the fabric underlayer or not, if maybe it was just already so old it dilapidated from that and was just prone to tearing, or maybe it was some type that was just plastic. As I've said, there are many various sorts of this synthetic material, and yeah, like I just usually get some old leather jackets from the flea market for just a couple of coins in return. Really, not even paper money, just a couple of coins will get you some old leather jackets on the flea market. So that's what I work with. And this, like, I am going to throw this straight into the trash bin when this video is done. I don't want to own this. Like, I don't know what else really to say about this. Like, how do you work with it if you have it? Or how can you use it? Well, the only reasonable approach I can think of and that I've heard of people doing is painting it. All kinds of paints. So I have a video about painting for post-apocalyptic grunge effects. Also, you can of course use the spray and dust on top of it effect. Don't forget to use a respirator when doing that. So that is probably the best option if you have something like this that is very prone to just tearing apart very badly from mechanical damage. So this is pretty much it. Like, I hope this clarifies my approach to this, or the lack of my approach to this material whatsoever. I will see you in the next year and in the next episode, and Merry Christmas to everyone. And until then, hail the snail. And also in the video description there are links to the Facebook Nuclear Snail community group where you can exchange with other people, and also with me whenever I'm there, and also a link to my Patreon. If you're a regular viewer, please support me on Patreon, because that does help me a lot to continue with this channel. And I of course thank all of my existing patrons for supporting me. I will see you then. Bye bye.